I ain't never faking, I'm the realest since Tupac in imprisonment, claiming his innocence. Currently, I'm the greatest rapper in a sense. But any currency, I'm still guaranteed my wins. This is coming from within, I stuff for real, I don't pretend. When the OG spilling knowledge, bet it's best you soak it in. I'm a prophet to them scholars, got them chakras opening. Got my premonitions. Best to keep it neutral, got my own religion. The brainwash, gotta make your own decision. My word is James Bond, I stay on the mission. Coming for the top position, ain't no competition, man. Pull up in the top, it's missing, the opposition in. All that lane switching, this is what the game is.
Can Zeke deke again? It's the coach. This is the 2019 season on EA Sports. Coming up, Ezekiel Elliott, fresh off 100 yards a week ago, as it'll be the Baltimore Ravens taking on the Seattle Seahawks. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, there are a few cities finer on a clear afternoon than this one, and we have a picture-perfect clear afternoon. Heck, you can see all the way to Mount Rainier in the distance here at CenturyLink Field in Seattle. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Baltimore Ravens and the Seattle Seahawks. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Seahawks team as they get ready here. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Ravens, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
And I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. So here come the Ravens with their first look on offense. They'll be led out by the first overall selection of the 2016 draft. From Cal, it's Jared Goff.
And it felt like in watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it because they ran the ball some, they threw it accurately. 1 touchdown pass, so he didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
A first carry for the former Falcon, Tevin Coleman. He takes this for 3 to the 29. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down. And we get a quick peek at the Ravens starting offense.
Had a nice offseason chat with wide receiver Marvin Jones, who's excited about his opportunity to return to form after injury ended his year in 2018. Remember, in 2017, he led the NFL in yards per catch and twice has been in the top 10 for receiving touchdowns in his career.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. 9 yards the pickup there, and it's a first down.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
The numbers for Coleman last week: 15 carries, 58 yards, and a score.
And to me, the goal is the exact same thing as last week. Get him the ball early and often. I think he's got another big game in him in this one.
On second down, it's Coleman. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. From From the gun on third down. Gone. That's complete to the running back, Nyheim Hines. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. They run with a former Eagle and Dolphin, Jay Ajayi. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
Coleman now. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he held on to it, but he probably shouldn't have as they get him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
And on this play, the read for the quarterback was the defensive end, and he was totally focused on the quarterback. He should have given it off inside to the running back. Instead, he kept it and ended up taking a loss on the play.
Drops it off for Coleman. And he does not get to the first down marker as they stop him at the 19. Call it a pickup of 7, and that's going to bring up a fourth down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter.
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And it's complete. They're going to get the first. The fake field goal catches everyone by surprise as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. CD, that call, it took some guts. It's not like they were at the 1 yard line. They had some distance to go.
They certainly did, and, you know, a lot of people might say that's fly by the seat of your pants type of coaching, but it's also sending a message out there. We're going to be unpredictable. You can't prepare for anything with us. You never know which way we're going to go. We zig, you zag.
And now some serious opening drive momentum. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They're led out by their 6-foot quarterback. You may have heard of him. From Purdue, it's Drew Brees.
And it felt like in watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it because they ran the ball some. They threw it accurately. 1 touchdown pass, so he didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
They run with Ezekiel Elliott, last year's NFL rushing leader. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
Watch this. Hey, break it down, fellas. Break it down. He's checking crap. 58, boys. 58. 58. It's Mike. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. Check 24, check 24.
And with the play clock at 5, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Break that. Yellow lady. 54 Mike. And we got to get to the ball, team. We got to get to the ball. Let's keep moving. Shoot!
Looking to throw on second down. Breeze. He's got a man. That's Marshall. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. That is his 951st NFL reception, so 49 away from 1,000, but 951. That ties him with Andre Reed.
Oh, I love the trigger there because Andre Reed caught the ball any part of the field and specialized in traffic, similar to what we've seen throughout his career as well. Does not mind going across the middle and making big-time catches.
So in their own territory, but they only need a few inches, so they're going to opt to go for this thing. We'll see. Maybe a supply. Now Breeze lost the football. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
A first down carry by Elliott. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. For Zeke, what a first 3 years he's had in the NFL. Last year, his second rushing title, 1,434 yards. Not as many as 1,631 that he had as a rookie, but still his yards per game average was the best in the National Football League. On 2nd and 9, Breeze. And this one caught by Delaney Walker. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a gain of 15, first down Seahawks.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? After one, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Ready? 95-56. Push him back. Push him back.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Breeze. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. That is first incompletion after a 4-for-4 start.
Yeah, but they shouldn't back off from what they're doing. I like the play calling right out of the gate. I like the tone that they're setting. Keep going in that direction.
Throwing now is Breeze. Got a man. He finds Sanders. That one goes for 30 yards. For an offense that has not found the end zone yet, that's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Elliott on first down going to be taken down behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
On 2nd down now, it's Elliott. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
And the pressure gets to Breeze as he's taken down. T.J. Watt drops him for a loss of 12, and it also brings up 4th down.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
So here are the Ravens to take over on offense. They were winners last week against Cincinnati, and right now they are in the driver's seat in this ball game as well. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Open man is the tight end, Nick Boyle. And out across midfield down to the 45. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first?
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. And Ndamukong Suh makes the tackle. He'll wind up getting 3 on the keeper there, but it leads to a 3rd down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, the risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 26. Goff in the offense with a 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. They'll run with Coleman on 1st down. The veteran Jason McCourty up to make the tackle.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
6 guys, 6 guys.
On 2nd down, it's Coleman. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. 5 yards on 1st down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on 2nd. The Ravens on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Now it's gone. They dump off underneath to Ajayi. And he picks up the 1st down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play. From the red zone now, Goff. He'll find Hines out of the backfield. 2nd quarter action with 1:59 remaining.
Here we go.
And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Jason Pierre-Paul came in there hard on the blitz and got him down 9 yards behind the line of scrimmage. So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal. Goff now looking to throw. And he's going to go down again. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. From the gun, here's Goff. And this is going to be incomplete. Well, so a drive that spans all that time, and yet you may only come away with 3 points here.
Well, your defense, all right, they actually like these long drives. They get to rest over on the sidelines for a while. But when you're not finishing with points in terms of touchdowns, that's frustrating. They've got to figure out how to close out these long drives and get 6s instead of 3s.
A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle. Right? No big plays given up. No balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? That just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that part. I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
They throw right away, and that's complete out on the right side. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a 1st down.
When you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
And he is out of bounds inside the 35. That one goes for 24 yards.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his legs.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. To throw, it's Breeze. And Walker has it. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. First down now, but the clock continues to move. Into the red zone, it's Breeze. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Emmanuel Sanders in the final seconds of the first half, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game.
I don't think it's any state secret to know what they were saying before the start of this drive. Let's go and punch one in the end zone and go into the halftime feeling a heck of a lot better about ourselves. Let's go get this done.
Yeah, tie things up, and then you got a brand-new ball game. Boswell good with the extra point, and that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Time here for likely one play, and then these two teams will head to the locker room all even.
And you know the play caller's just feeling it right now. Let's go ahead and go for this one. A big shot downfield. Nope. Guaranteed the head coach is like, don't get crazy. Take the knee. Let's get out of here. Tie game will just start all over.
So thanks to the late touchdown, it's a time ball game here heading to break. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. A lot to get to here as some of the division races starting to take shape as we look around the NFL here in week number 7. We'll get started up at FedEx Field in our nation's capital, where it was the visiting Niners who are able to come away with the road victory. Jameis Winston strong in the victory as his guys run their record to 6-1 on the campaign. From there, we head over to the Windy City. Check on the Bears at home, Soldier Field. And for the moment, they trail the visiting Saints in that one. Tom Brady, sharp as ever. He's got 2 touchdown passes. Lastly, let's get you to MetLife Stadium to see what's happening with the Giants at home in East Rutherford. And they were losers in that one to the visiting Arizona Cardinals. 28-0 the final. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been as tight as we expected. All tied through one half of play. For the call of the second half, let's get it back to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up.
Yellow waiting. Here we go, D. Here I come again. Here I come again. Bang, 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 bang. Hey, kill. 58, boys.
On first down, Breeze. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options and throws it away. So, Charles, tie game here. What are your keys as we continue to play this second half?
I know people think it's always trite when you say the same things over and over, but they're tried and true in the game of football. Who's going to block better? Who's going to tackle better? In this case, to me, it's turnovers. You've got to take care of the football in order to win the game.
Back to the air on second down. It's Breeze. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down. How about the defensive effort from both of these teams that we've seen in this game?
Would you say it's like a high-stakes chess match right now?
Chess is one way to go. Yeah, I like it.
Okay, the only reason I say that, you feel like they're contemplating their moves before actually making one, and none of them being done very confidently.
Truth be told, I've never played chess, and I know that I'm not smart enough to play chess. Guys like you with your IQ, you can pull that off. So a stop here defensively to start this third quarter. Just what's needed in a tie ball game.
Yeah, good chance to build back some momentum on the defensive side of the ball. In fact, what they've done is give their offense a nice push in the back as they get ready to take the field.
The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. Their defense did its job, yielded no points. Now it's the offense's turn.
And how much fun is that when you set things up to start a half and you just tell you guys, hey, if you can shut them down, get it back for our offense, we can roll. And they played out perfectly. Now, can the offense do what they wanted to do at the half, which is find those weaknesses and now attack them and score some points.
And break this tie. On second down now, it's Coleman. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on third down. A shotgun snap for Goff. He finds Coleman. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. That one 28 yards on the ground.
At halftime, you had to feel like the defense had to be in a good position. They had to feel good about themselves. They'd had this guy boxed in all game long, but after that run, that might be the breakthrough that he's looking for. Now they may have some difficulty dealing with him the rest of today.
Here's Goff. And he gets this one to Ridley complete. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable second and 1. Here's Ajayi. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up first downs.
They go play action here on first down. Jason Pierre-Paul able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon.
Well, if you're going to throw the ball on first and goal from the 2, the worst thing that should result is an incompletion for you offensively. But, Brandon, this is a different type of football. Back in my day, first and goal from the 2, a lot of big people with big neck rolls, they were on the field trying to ram it into the end zone.
A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. Now Goff on third and goal. This one complete to Coleman. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Able to hold him to just 2 yards, and now it's fourth and goal.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. A good drive gets him inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Drew Brees getting ready to go again on offense. How do you break down his game so far? Just the one touchdown pass, but sometimes the touchdown pass stat category, that doesn't tell the whole story.
It really doesn't, not until you balance it with the error side, and in this case, he hasn't thrown any interceptions. So a lot of people would call this almost a pedestrian game, kind of a bus driver game, but that's just really wrong. Being a bus driver is a good thing if you're running a football team, because that means you're in control and you're taking your team to the right places.
Yeah, he's been pretty solid.
At the 22-yard line.
From the 22, Brees. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Pierre Garçon, the intended receiver. And now it's third down. He has still not connected on a single pass in this second half.
And right now they're going through all the different reasons, the whys, the wherefores. Bottom line, got to find some completions in there and get their offense moving.
And the pressure gets to Brees as he's taken down. T.J. Watt picks up his second sack of the afternoon. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. They'll run here with Coleman out of the gun. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first. When he runs, he seems to do a nice job of knowing when to be patient and find the hole, and then when the hole is there, he goes quickly.
You're exactly right. He knows how to just take off, but you know what else? Brings a little thump with him, doesn't he?
He does.
He packs the boom at the end of the run and finishes it going forward. That's what you want to see out of your backs.
And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard.
Let's go.
This thrown quickly out to Jones. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. Goff on first down. This complete to Jones. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 7 yards to pick up on the pitch and catch. That time they hit him out of the slot on the drag.
And that route takes some fortitude from the guy running it because he knows he's going through the briar patch, as I like to call it, right? He's trying to work his way through all that traffic, and people are wanting to put a little contact on it. Really well done.
All day, dog.
On second down, it's Coleman. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front seven, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. On the ground, it's a handoff to Coleman. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it 3rd and 13. So 1st and 2nd down went in the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. So decision time now, because a field goal keeps it a one-score game. What are you thinking?
Well, I'm looking at the down and distance, and that's where the issue comes in. It's not short enough that it's a no-brainer and you go for it. You have to analyze this one. To me, you take the field goal, take the points. I don't think you want to risk coming away with nothing.
So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. The run by Elliott, a good one on first down as he's able to pick up about 6 there. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
From the 38, Breeze. It's caught by Sanders. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2.
Set the tone, defense. Let's go. Deuce, 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 deuce.
Now Breeze. They locates Walker, complete. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens 40.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. A first down run for Elliott, not going to pan out. He'll, in fact, wind up losing a couple. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
Ready? 95, 56. It's our time. It's our time. 36, 36. Kill, kill, kill. Kill, kill.
On 2nd and 12, Breeze. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. Working the sideline there. Good route, good catch. First down, and he gets out of bounds.
Now you have to like the play calling because you have to run some guys down the middle of the field to draw some of the defenders away. They can't just let them guard the sideline exclusively. That's how it's going to work. Sidelines and incompletions to use the clock.
Hatch it, hatch it. We go 21, 21.
Now back to the ground with Elliott. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. That was the 8th play of the drive, so a somewhat fitting pickup of 8 yards. This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4. Able to find Harris, complete. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now Elliott. And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, his third touchdown now on the year, as they are now just an extra point away from taking the lead here in the final 2 minutes. Important extra point up and through, and that is going to put them on top by a point, and it sets us up for quite a finish. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Tevin Coleman and the rest of the offense making their way back out. And after a sluggish start, he's really bounced back. The numbers bear that out.
And you're a baseball guy, partner. How many at-bats over the course of a baseball season?
Over what, 4 in the game?
Yeah, about 4 in a game.
4 times 162.
350 or so, right? Sometimes it takes a while for a guy to get going. That's my point. It's not the first few carries. You don't worry about that. As they go along, get that guy lathered up, get those blocking assignments down. Those 2-yard gains turn into bigger gains as the game moves along.
They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore first down. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. The throw there finding its way to Boyle. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Back to throw. That's into the hands of the tight end, Boyle. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. They'll look to throw. He's going to find his tight end, Boyle. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. This is Coleman with the ground. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. They run with Ajayi, and they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. Tavecchio puts this one through, and the sideline celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute. All right, so time to reset here. It's a huge kick there, gives them the lead, but they've got to be careful that their celebrations aren't a little too premature.
You're exactly right about that, because there still is time for the other guys to run a few plays and get into field goal position. So this defense is going to need to come up with one final stop if they're going to get out of here with a victory.
Drew Brees in the offense. Down by 2, 23 seconds to go. And they need about 35 yards to get in range for a winner as they come up on 1st down. And he'll hit his tight end, Walker. A good pickup there at 22.
Well, how about keeping your head about you in this situation? No more timeouts. Finds a way to get out of bounds. Now they can breathe a little bit as they contemplate what to do on the next down.
He's back to throw. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
You got tape. You got tape. You got tape right there.
He'll look to throw. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock. One of his main targets, Delaney Walker, the intended receiver. But now it's 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Let's get off the field.
And the blitz does come. And complete to the tight end Walker, right side. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. The Seahawks moving pretty well through the air. Another first down. So on now for the field goal try, Chris Boswell. And now with 4 seconds left, we get a timeout call. So on now for the field goal try, Chris Boswell. He made his only attempt earlier. This for the win. And this one is right through. And with that, they have taken the lead by a point here in the fourth. Well, a little drama there at the end, but really it ends on the kickoff.
And I'm right there with you, partner. At the end of the game, they knew what they had to do. Just make sure you don't cough up the football at the end. Just take care of it, and victory was theirs, and that's exactly what they did.
So for the Seahawks, they fall a game under 500 now at 3 up and 4 down. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Atlanta Falcons. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, they fall a game under the 500 mark at 3 and 4 through 7 games. And they'll get an extra week to think about it as the midseason bye might be coming at just the right time. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.